Hello everybody, Captain Marty Brill here on Wednesday, March the 25th. We got teased a little bit. We thought things were getting ready to bust loose and some fish were going to be biting in the surf. And then, of course, yesterday it blew a gale and everything came to a screeching halt. But I'll talk to you a little bit about what we can look forward to in the next couple of days. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
At the south end of Roanoke Island, in a quiet little village, lies a marina known for having one of the finest fishing fleets on the Outer Banks. Whether it be an offshore excursion, a nearshore charter, or headboat fishing, Wanchies Marina is where to go. Wanchies Marina is a full-service marina, complete with a fueling dock, bait, tackle, ice, and the landing grill restaurant. All of this is just a few minutes from some of the finest fishing spots around. Book online at wanchiesmarina.com. Wanchies Marina, 4457 Mill Landing Road, Wanchies.
Surrounded by water, Currituck and the people of the Outer Banks have been shaped and defined by its rich and coastal maritime history. The Currituck Maritime Museum tells the story of Currituck's boat-building forefathers, their remarkable craft, and the legacy they left behind on how to live life and thrive on the waters of the Outer Banks. Discover the Maritime Museum in historic Corolla Park, across the street from the Currituck Beach Lighthouse, and visit us online at currituckmaritimemuseum.com. Be a part of the local history at the Currituck Maritime Museum.
So there's nothing to report from the offshore fleet. We can tell you, if you missed yesterday's report, that the bluefins have been north of Diamond Shoals, and that could change by the hour, literally. But they were up around what we call the Point, which is a big canyon, and they got up there and bit really well last few days, and some good-sized fish still around. I asked Captain Dickie Harris, how long will that last? And he said till middle of April, probably. So that is encouraging. The Hatteras fleet, the fish had moved out of that area briefly, but like I said, all it takes is a shift of wind. When the guys get back out offshore, they could be on Hatteras, and the Oregon Inlet fleet could be without anything. That's how it works. They're just milling around, looking for a food source, and then wherever that's going to be is where they're going to be feeding. And another thing real quick, the bluefin don't care so much about water temperature. Yellowfin and blackfin and big-eye tunas, the other three major tuna species we catch, they're very particular to water temperature. But the bluefins, they were in upper 40 degree water, low 50s up along the beach, and then they'll be in the 70-degree water in the Gulf Stream the next day. But that's about it as far as our offshore stuff. We'll take a moment here to talk about surf fishing because there was finally starting to get a few bites. We saw some water temperatures, Hatteras and Ocracoke, getting up into the 60s. And remember, it had been down in the mid-40s. It's still in the 40s in places up along the beach north of Oregon Inlet. But we had our species list had really increased. We had sea mullet, black drum, Taylor bluefish, puppy drum, which is a red drum, a few sharks, and a few blowtoads. Just a week ago, the only thing we didn't have anything to talk about. One black drum. 7 days ago is what we talked about. Just the first black drum caught in Ocracoke. So they've caught them, and they've caught a few yearlings already. That's encouraging, especially down in Ocracoke. So there's some fish to be had. Today may be a better day to fish than yesterday was. I'll just have to wait and see. So we'll take a little break right here, and I'll come back and we'll talk about the backcountry. And I'll just forewarn you, it's going to be a little bit slow. But anyway, we do need to talk about it because that's the area that's going to open up, and the bite is going to get better quick. Maybe one of the first areas to get better. So stay right there. I'll be right back.
When it comes to general maintenance or major modifications on your diesel vehicle, look no further than Wanchies Off-Road Diesel Performance in Kill Devil Hills. Master mechanic Ryan Walker developed the plan for having his own auto shop over 20 years ago, and today he owns the premium diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. To have him and his crew take a look under your hood, give him a call today at 252-715-0025 or find him on social media. Wanchies Off-Road Diesel Performance, the diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks.
All right, we are back, and I ask you to excuse my voice. I spent the day out in the cold yesterday replanting some potatoes, some onions. What else did I do? Worked a little bit on some grafting on some grapevines, but I made it a point. It was the only day I had to do it, so I stayed out, and ever since my voice is a little bit on the weak side. So anyway, forgive me. We don't have much more to talk about, but we have had some good rock fishing in the Western Sounds, and that's going to do nothing but get better, get better, get better. We still are not hearing much of anything, but I heard of a speckled trout and a puppy drum 4 days ago over in the Mans Harbor area. I don't know how reliable that report was, but it's just nothing really to talk about. Nothing in our creeks yet, and I don't know of a crappie bite, but if we get, the weather's going to warm up through Friday, and then it's going to drop back off again. Seems like it's been doing that a lot over the weekends, but the crappie bite, the bass bite, largemouth bass, and all the perch species ought to start biting now. Now's the time. So that's something the canal banks you should see a few people on Highway 64. You're going to see some people up in the ponds up in Southern Shores. That's the kind of bite that's going to get things kicked off for us. So that's what we have for you. Not a great fishing report. It was looking good, and it will get better. But I'm going to recommend that you try to fish Thursday and Friday if you have the opportunity, because we have another front coming through on Saturday. So go out and wet a line. You're not going to catch them in the motel room, and may the good Lord bless you richly today.